dedicated to empowering you with information
to make positive choices
and be advocates for your overall well-being.
Welcome to The Health View. Welcome to The Health View. I'm Yvonne Dunetz, and today we're going to be talking about engaging employees in corporate wellness. My guest is Margaret Savoia. Margaret is currently HR business partner at Fujifilm Media USA Inc. and a champion of employee engagement. In her role, she's responsible for creating innovative ways to engage all employees for establishing the culture, systems, and training that enriches leaders and empowers employees to be most effective. Margaret also leads other HR initiatives, including talent development, onboarding, and employee mentoring. Margaret is SHRM-SCP certified. Welcome, Margaret.
Thank you so much, Yvonne. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for being here. And it's a perfect time to ask you, what does a certification mean?
The SHRM SCP certification stands for Senior Certified Professional. SHRM is the Society of Human Resources Management, and they offer coursework and certification, as do a couple of other organizations, which is fairly rigorous and requires study, and there's testing to attain the certification, and it really helps to verify your knowledge in your area of expertise.
And you have over 20 years experience in HR, which is excellent. And how have you become that champion for employee wellness?
Well, it's interesting. Our organization, Fujifilm, is very focused on employee wellness. It's a strategic initiative for the company, I would call it. We recognize that healthy employees are beneficial to the bottom line. Not only do we want our employees to feel good, but we want that reflected in their contribution to work and their overall engagement in work. So it really has started at the top of the organization because it's a very comprehensive program, which requires investment of time, investment of resources, and that was a decision that was made. We're one of the businesses where a very comprehensive wellness program, which I'm happy to share the details with you, has been implemented, and it's been really exciting.
Tell us about it. What's included in that comprehensive program?
Well, our wellness program is very, very broad. One specific, really kind of interesting thing that we did in the last year and a half is called Fujifilm Fit. And what that's involved is, at our particular location, and this has happened now in several locations, an on-site gym was constructed. We hired an outside third party to really facilitate the process of building that on-site gym, putting in the right equipment that our employees would want to use. But then most important of all, they helped us to engage employees by asking for volunteers to become what we call wellness champions. And what that involved was these volunteers who stepped forward, went through months of training, and became fully certified in their area of wellness. So either yoga or body fit or personal trainer. And they then would lead their fellow employees in classes. So it was really interesting. It wasn't like bringing in an outside trainer to teach classes once a week at the gym. It was the person, down the hall potentially who you work with who'd be leading a body fit class. So really different concept, and it really kind of changed, I think, the whole dynamic when it came to fitness.
You've got buy-in right away from your employees that came forward, and you actually volunteered, didn't you?
Yes, I'm one of the yoga instructors, and so I'm thrilled. It's really been a great learning experience for me. It has been really a great experience to connect with my fellow employees and lead yoga classes. I participated in yoga. I honestly never expected to become a yoga instructor, so it's really exciting how it's taken me down this path, which I've really enjoyed and really loved, and really provided an opportunity to connect with employees that are in other parts of the organization that I don't see on a daily basis who come to class, and I've gotten to know. So it's been just really a great experience.
And you've made it easier for them because it's right on site.
Correct. It's right on site. We offer classes at times that make sense for employees. So, of course, there's before work, so there are early morning classes offered, lunchtime classes, after work classes offered. So we do have a real flexible schedule. We got input from employees on what works for them. At our particular location, we have 3 shifts working, so we're pretty close to around the clock. So we try to really offer flexibility in when employees can come to those classes.
And have you noticed a difference in the employees that are participating in it as far as
Yes.
their own health and well-being?
Absolutely. So just kind of the routine of working out's easier because you know, you're going more often and more frequently, and you do feel better. So I think we've seen greater engagement, and we've seen from people who really enjoy this as part of their wellness program, we've seen ongoing engagement. So the results speak for themselves when they keep coming back, of course. For people that are maybe new to exercise or new to, say, yoga, we've tried to offer different challenges to introduce them to you know, to experience it. So there's sometimes incentives where, you know, join a class and get a water bottle or get a gift card or different things like that. But we do have a core belief that fitness and wellness has to be something that, you know, the individual wants to do and should keep coming back. But sometimes you need a little bit of a push to realize, I actually feel better when I do this.
What's been the greatest challenges in order to incorporate this within the culture as well as providing it for your employees on site?
I think the greatest challenge has probably been trying to invite people into the wellness space who may not have ever done that before. So maybe they've never gone to a gym. Maybe they've never you know, worked out with a personal trainer. Maybe they've never done a yoga class. So, you know, kind of walking into the gym is the very first step. And to help facilitate that process, every new hire that comes on board is brought through an induction process. So we show them all of the equipment, we share the schedule, we explain what the classes are like, and we really try to engage them to try and then create some incentives for them to start. We run those periodically, maybe a couple of times a year. And we try to appeal to different people in different ways. I think when it comes to just kind of bottom line engaging people in wellness programs, it's very much a personal decision, and people are free to kind of do what they would like with their free time. So we really try to make it fun. And I think that's been our approach is let's make fitness fun. And that's been, I think, one of the keys to success.
Have you noticed any difference related to employee attendance and participation and focus and creativity and stamina at work for those who participate?
Absolutely. So if you, of course, the more kind of regularly that you're attending classes, and especially if you're in with a core group of people and you're kind of cheering each other on and supporting each other, you do absolutely notice the, you know, regular people and their kind of their strength and their stamina increasing. If you go away on vacation or you're traveling and you've been away for it for a couple of weeks, you absolutely notice it, you know, when you return. But yeah, there's absolutely a correlation with kind of continuity and sticking with it and just feeling good and being ready for increasing levels of challenge in your workout as well.
You know, it's interesting. A lot of people talk about corporate wellness, and the question always is, so corporate wellness usually comes from the top down, and then they're really wanting to make people rise to the occasion and really participate and do well. But not always do you see from the top the leaders and the role models participating in it. What have you found about that?
Right. Engaging employees in wellness really must start at the top of your organization, and it has to go beyond kind of paying, the bill to either build the gym or to support it. Participation from the top sends the loudest, clearest message that we place priority on this, we believe in it, because we do it ourselves and we participate in it. In our case, we invited wellness instructors, and we actually got some of our leaders to become wellness instructors as well. So that has made a big difference, because when your manager or one of the leaders in the organization is making time to work out and going to class and maybe inviting you to come to their class, it really sends the message that it's not only okay to work out, it's actually encouraged to work out. So that's really, I think, a very key piece of it. Many corporate gyms are empty, and part of it is because there needs to be sort of a sense of not only that it's okay, but that it's encouraged, and at all levels of the organization, there's participation.
So it's interesting because corporate wellness, in what you're describing, are more physical components of that wellness, right? Mm-hmm. But there's another important message related to corporate wellness that I've always believed, and that's where the organization itself lets people know that they're cared about and that they're treated well, mm-hmm. and that they're responsive to their needs. Yeah. Have you incorporated that within your corporate wellness? What is the philosophy that integrates with that so that people know that they're valued in their work setting, and that the corporate wellness programs are just part of an overall wellness and supportive program?
Right. I think that goes to company culture. Mm-hmm. And, wellness is kind of one piece of that, but certainly the kind of culture that you foster sends that message, and it makes employees feel that they're either cared about or not cared about. So it needs to be a message that begins to come, again, from the leadership level of the organization, and managers need to be consistent and share that message with employees. It needs to be reciprocal. Values and core competencies in the organization can really help to kind of lend more support and credibility to that. We have core competencies around building positive work relationships, for example, the importance of effective communication. I mean, there's most definitely some expectations around how we work together, how we treat one another, how we value one another. So there are a lot of layers and a lot of components to feeling good about where you work and why you feel good about being there.
For companies that are wanting to engage in a corporate wellness program, what would you recommend are the most important things that they need to do?
Well, there's a lot of aspects to corporate wellness. I think there's purely kind of the benefits that you offer. Looking at that piece of it, there's the nutritional piece of it, and we looked at that as well and offer some nutritional counseling and a kind of a motivational program. We call them journeys, where employees can participate in trying different food challenges and learn about different healthy food preparation.
If I can just jump in on there on the healthy food, have you made a point within the facilities that you have, if you actually have the ability that you're selling food to employees, to make sure that healthy food is being offered to them?
Yes, we've started to look at that. And part of what we've done at our location, and it's all a work in process, but is looking at each of the components of wellness and saying, how can we do better? And so that's absolutely one of the things that we've started to look at. But it's not just your vending machines and what you're offering kind of conveniently,
in your cafeterias or restaurants,
right, to employees, but it's also bringing in outside expertise. So we have every month we have a nutritionist that comes in actually every other month and offers her expertise on preparing healthy foods, every topic imaginable related to good nutrition. And she's wonderful. She's really an expert in her field. And then the off months when she's not with us, we have a chef who's from the Boston area, and he comes and he does food demonstrations, and he's showing employees how to prepare healthy food conveniently, and that's one of the kind of the best things. You're seeing it right there in front of you. Taste testings, 3-4 ingredient healthy dinners that you can prepare. So it's really giving life to the program through making it alive, getting people to participate, and we just do a variety of things. We have an offering where employees can receive a healthy food box once a week full of fresh fruits and vegetables, and it's delivered right to our door. So it's really wonderful. It's another option for employees, but it's convenient. It helps promote, that healthy eating. So it's one other thing that we do to try to encourage that.
Is that like participating in a CSA, a local farm that comes and brings good healthy food that people can participate in?
Yeah, it's
have it delivered there?
It's very similar to that.
That's excellent.
Yes.
That's excellent. So what would you say would be the priorities for people in business to focus on in order to have a successful wellness program?
Well, if you're, I think you have to understand where you're starting from, because you can, start out very simply, or you can create something very, very elaborate. But my advice would be start. So if you're doing something very basic, just build on that one step at a time and listen to your employees. Try to understand what they want. I think the most effective thing is really satisfying a need. What doesn't work is imagining that you know what people want and then offering something, going to a lot of work to put that together, and then finding it's not well received.
Did you survey your employees first?
Well, we knew that wellness has been such a well-studied topic. We knew going into this that before we actually had to ask employees, we knew that it was part of the solution, and that we would certainly appeal first and foremost to the group that's looking for convenience and solutions, and that it would be a process to try and get the others on board. So we specifically didn't ask about some of the details of what we offer, but kind of generally speaking, we receive feedback on a regular basis from employees.
So you're getting feedback on what you're offering them all the time so that you can better what the offerings are also?
Well, I think that varies probably program to program, because again, there's so much. There's the benefits programs, and then there's all of these other kind of side offerings that I've mentioned. And I know we look at usage, we look at cost savings that are generated. When you're talking about wellness, ideally some of the things that we're looking for are less absenteeism, lower workers' comp cost. So there are most definitely metrics that can be studied that go beyond asking employees to kind of complete a survey. And you have to kind of look at all of that information.
Are there additional benefits to go to the employees that do participate in these programs?
And get information?
Yes.
Absolutely. So we have a steering committee of trainers that meets every month, I believe, and we exchange ideas, what's working. We actually look at metrics, gym usage, most popular times, when people are working out. Are they working out alone? Are they taking a class? Are they preferring one time of day or one day a week more than others? So usage speaks volumes and gives us feedback. We can monitor all of that because it's, we have a system where people are basically kind of signing in for classes and recording when they're there. And we analyze those results and we make changes based on that. We also look for feedback in our classes. what do you enjoy doing? What works for you? What would you like to focus in on more? And then that helps us kind of make changes.
And how do you communicate all the things that you're doing with your employees so that the greater number of them realize what you're doing and the benefits that others are taking advantage of, and so that they know that it's there, it's working, people are responding to it, and they're getting results from it?
Well, that's the internal communication piece of it.
Yes.
And we do that in a lot of different ways, a variety of different ways. One of the challenges that we have is we have multiple locations, we have multiple shifts, we have many different languages, first languages that people speak, lots of different areas of expertise. So we need to send this information to people in different ways. That's what we've found. We post it on digital monitors in the building, different things about upcoming events, getting people excited about new offerings, a schedule of what's coming up. We do electronic, digital, email, really all sorts of communication. We try to consider every avenue. We have town hall meetings on a regular basis.
What is that
some
like?
of it's face-to-face. Town hall
Yes,
meetings.
yes.
We do those on a quarterly basis. Our leadership team they run those meetings, and they talk about the business and talk about key things that are happening in the organization, and giving employees a chance to ask questions, and it's an exchange of information.
Now, you mentioned you have many sites. How many sites do you actually have, and how many people are you working with?
Well, the company itself is large, thousands and thousands of people. Our particular business is about 130 or so individuals, and we have locations in Massachusetts, corporate headquarters are in New York, and then we have field people in various different states across the U.S., presence in Canada, and also we have relationships with South America as well. So we're truly a global business. Our company headquarters are actually in Tokyo, and so we're kind of all over.
So having that said, that you're spread out.
Yes.
The corporate wellness philosophy and the programs are offered to everyone?
North American employees, yes.
And in all sites?
Well, our location has site-specific events. Our New York office does very similar type events. They just out of kind of logistics will bring in people to run those, and for them. Our corporate benefits group is located there, so that's kind of the heart center of where all of this originates from. And then our field people and off-shift people, we try to find ways to share information effectively with them as well, and make sure that they understand all the different offerings available through all the wellness options.
If we were to summarize the most important information that you'd like people to know and have related to this whole engaging employees in corporate wellness, what would it be?
Well, I think that there are two perspectives. So if you are looking at it from an employer perspective, my I guess key thing would be healthy employees are good for the bottom line, right. And try to do the most that you can do that works for your organization. I think every organization, depending on your size and your business, it's a little bit different. But ask the question, how much can I do? How can I serve my employees, keep them well and healthy, and keep my business strong? And I think from an employee perspective, I would say take advantage of all that your employer does offer. There are sometimes more offerings than employees are aware of that go beyond just your medical and your dental benefits. If you're in a position where your employer is open to new ideas, I think take advantage of sharing that feedback. And there are a lot of small things that can be done quite easily. So you can organize a group to run a 5K race, for example, and you can kind of get your wellness in and maybe support a great cause. So there's a lot of creativity that can come into doing things that are fun and things that are good for you. And I would say that every organization needs a wellness champion.
And so do they need to identify one champion like yourself in your organization, or there are a number of them under the organization?
Well, I think it has to kind of, somebody needs to be accountable and somebody needs to really sort of, be in charge of that. I am just one of, many in the organization, and, I'm just one piece of it. But I think, I certainly see the value and I see the benefit of it. But I think all employees can play the role of sort of being wellness champions by taking advantage of all that they can, all that their company offers, being great role models in terms of, doing all that they can do to stay healthy and be well and share that good information with coworkers. So you need leadership, but anybody can do it.
What are you most proud of from what you've been able to accomplish there within your corporation?
I'm most proud of the relationships that we've built in taking on the whole wellness, building the gym and teaching classes. The relationships, I think, are what has sustained the program, grown the program, kept the program kind of an integral part of the business, and it has, really, benefited instructors and participants alike. So really proud of those relationships and the commitment that people have shown to give their time, to give their help, to help other employees be well and feel good.
Did you use a model yourself to be able to introduce to your corporation, or did you do it from the ground up, just to establish it within?
So the thinking behind this really came from our corporate group, and they had the foresight and the wisdom to see that this was a really great investment, and they partnered with an external company that has been just incredible. So bringing in the outside expertise and the right outside expertise, I think, has been key. It's been a team effort, and we have some really amazing kind of visionaries who lead us with wellness, and I'm just really happy to be a part of it.
That's fantastic. Well, we really appreciate your being on the show, because I think it's so beneficial for so many that are really trying to tackle this issue and do it in the best way possible for their employees. So we thank you very much for being with us. Until next time.